the Greater You Show here on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeartStation. I'm your host here, Dr. Anthony L. Gantt, here for another show, again, on IntellectualRadio.com. So wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us, here, again, IntellectualRadio.com. You can also, if you haven't done this already, go to YouTube and IntellectualRadio.com, and then you can hit the subscribe button there, as well as hit the bell, and you can be notified of all the shows we have going on here through Sunday through Saturday, mornings, afternoons, evenings. We have shows going on all the time. And you can also subscribe to that channel, and you'll be notified of all the shows we do have going on. We have spiritual shows. We have relationship shows, financial shows, legal shows, coaching shows, entertainment shows, health shows. So we have a lot, business shows. So we have a lot of different shows here that you can get a lot from. And also you can let other people know that's in your circle or in your tribe. You can let them know about the shows we have here too. And then you can actually follow those shows, learn a lot, and get in contact with a lot of different topics. And you can chime in, obviously. And you can follow a lot of the hosts, pretty much all of the hosts on other social media platforms as well. So we'd like you to do that too. So again, we're here with the Greater You Show, and this is a self-help show, self-help book club, self-help coaching session, all kind of wrapped into one. So we are in the middle of a series here. All the series that I do here on IntellectualRadio.com is also based off a book that I've written on a particular topic. And today we're in part 2 on how to conquer procrastination. So we are going to talk about it. We talked about if you're new to me and new to IntellectualRadio.com and new to the show, a Greater You Show, you'll notice that I always do a recap of what we talked about in the previous part. So part 1, we came from chapter 1, lesson 1 in the book, and we talked more about what was procrastination and how to conquer procrastination. That all of us, I believe, we are all recovering procrastinators. All of us have and still do procrastinate over a lot of things. Now, some people say, no, I'm not a procrastinator, but the truth of the matter is we all procrastinate on something. We might procrastinate on something in our finances, we might procrastinate on something in our health, might procrastinate on something in our relationships, might procrastinate on something, with our career or education. So we all have to battle this thing. This is why I say that I am, and I believe everyone else is too, are recovering procrastinators, those that's trying to progress, right? You're a recovering procrastinator. Some people think, well, I've been a procrastinator. That's nothing but I'm nothing but a procrastinator. And that's not true. It's because there's a lot of things that you have done in life that you haven't procrastinated on, right? It's a lot of things you've done that you haven't procrastinated on. Now, there are some things you probably are, but we all are procrastinating on something. Procrastination so close, it's like a second or a minute away. So, because at any given time, you can put something off. I kind of, in the last session, I kind of had shared a poem with you that's under Authors Unknown. That's probably why I'm sharing it. But it's a poem that said, if I woulda, coulda, shoulda, have you ever heard of them? They live on the corner of Maybe Street and in the house that never was. The halls were empty and the rooms were too, filled with empty promises and dreams that never came true. And that's what procrastination does to you. It always have you build a house on Maybe Street. See, I was so good at procrastinating. I lived on Maybe Street. I lived on Wood've Street before. I lived on Could've Avenue. I lived on all those streets, should've road, because I was always procrastinating. See, and we all, since sometimes people see a lot of the progress that I made in life, and they say, "Oh no, you haven't procrastinated." I'm sure you haven't. And the answer is yes, I have. And I still have. This is one habit or one thing that I have to battle with all the time. Every single day I have to battle with procrastination, because at any given time I want to put something off. I want to put off exercising. I want to put off doing something around the house. I want to put off reading something. I want to put off doing something with my business, right? Because procrastination is just that. So we also explained in the first session how the word procrastination is pro means forward and crastinate means tomorrow. And so really, in actuality, the word procrastination actually means tomorrow. That's why we always putting things off until tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next Friday. I'll do it next month. I'll do it next year. We're always putting it off. And even though you are putting procrastination off and putting things off, it doesn't give you more time. It doesn't add to your life just because you're trying to add more days to the calendar. And I spoke about that in the session 1, how I was notorious for saying, one day I'm going to do that. Someday I'm going to do that. And one day I happened to look on the calendar and I seen Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I didn't see a day called someday. I didn't see a day called one day on the calendar. I'm trying to add 2 more days to a 7-day calendar, and they just not there. So I'm steady putting things off to nowhere. And if you keep putting things off to nowhere, then what ends up happening, you'll always be in this place called having no thing, right? Or nothing, right? So you have to get good at stopping procrastination. So you have to start using dates and calling dates by their names. I'm going to do this, Friday the 10th. I'm going to do this Tuesday the 13th, right? You have to start doing those things to put yourself in this position that you can get things done. So you have to start having you a list. Now you may not get everything done with the list, but you got to start having a list because it's easy to put things off. How many times have we been in situations? I know this has happened to me, and that you meant to call so and so, meant to call this person, or auntie, or uncle, or grandma, granddad, whoever, right? And next thing you know, they left the planet. And you've been saying for 6 months, I'm gonna call them up. I'm gonna call them up. Yeah, I'm gonna get in touch with my best friend, my buddy. Yeah, and all these different things. And then by the time you look up, they're not here anymore. And you think all those times you procrastinated off a call, off a text, off an email, off a letter, right? So this is why I share with you that you're a recovering procrastinator. However, what will make you a recovering procrastinator is that you have to focus on progressing. Once you start focusing on progressing in your life, in any area of your life, you have just moved out of being a regular procrastinator to being a recovering procrastinator, meaning that any given moment, just like a person that's recovering from alcohol or recovering from drugs, they've been recovering alcoholic for 20 years. And someone would say, well, why do you keep saying you're a recovering alcoholic? Because they know all it takes is one drink and they'll be back to where they were 20 years ago. And so that's why they're very careful in what they do in those instances. Well, in order to move your life in a progressive way, you're going to have to be very careful with what your triggers are to help you procrastinate, because you want to get very bad at procrastination. When you get very bad at procrastination, that means you got very good at progressing, right? So those are some of the things we talked about in lesson 1. So we're in in session 1, I'm sorry. So we're in session 2, and we're going to come from the lesson 4 from the book, Moving My Life. So a lot of times we don't get or understand that it's okay to move our life. We don't move our life a lot because of the fact we're waiting on permission to do so. We're waiting on the people across the street, the people at my job, the people at my church, the people wherever, right? Mama, daddy, son, daughter, uncle, aunt. We're waiting on someone to tell us that it's okay to move our life. And life gives you enough indications that it's okay to move your life because there's always something that you can do. There's always something that you could do. There's always something that you should do. Always something that you have to do or must do. So since you have these things in place, that means you have permission to move your life from any moment you decide that you want to move your life. The moment you decide that you don't want to do the things and put things off, you're going to stop your life from moving. So it's pretty much this simple. At any given time, you can pick up your life and start moving it. It's no different than me picking up this book off this thing. It's that simple. Now, it's not always easy because when you got good at procrastinating, it's easy to, seem easy to pick up the book, right? But it's easy to pick up your life. But when you procrastinated for 5, 10, 15 years, what ends up happening, it's hard to move your life because you got good at procrastinating. So we want to get good at progressing, right? And our progress could be little steps. They don't have to be giant leaps, right? They have to be little steps. It's like when I, years ago, when I had stopped running and then I decided I was going to start running again. And I just couldn't go out there and start running 5 miles and all that stuff again. I had to start walking about 2 or 3 blocks and taking my butt right back home, right? Why? Because my body was not conditioned to do what I did once before. Well, it's the same thing in life. This is what hurts a lot of people when they start saying, I'm going to stop procrastinating, starting the day, I'm going to get it done. And what happened? They're taking these giant leaps. They're going to do all these 55 things in like 2 hours. And what happened? They exacerbate themselves and then they get more frustrated because they never enjoy the process. So you have to realize that in order to move your life, that you have permission to move your life by having something to do in your life. Any area of your life that you're putting things off is putting you further behind. If you put off paying, just think about this. You just said you have a house payment, right? And if you keep putting off paying your house payment, you're going to get further behind on paying the house off. Why? Not because you're a bad person, because you kept paying the house payment. So then this is what a lot of us think. We think, hey, I work good under pressure, man. You just don't understand. Put that pressure on me, man. I get stuff done. I get something done. But what happens is we don't want to always have an emergency going on in our life, right? And that's what we end up doing is causing all these emergencies to happen. So when you understand that that it's okay to move your life, procrastination is in the place of having you put your life down. You're putting your life down. You're parking your life. You're stopping your life, not because of your age, not because of your gender, and all those different things. Now, yeah, those other people do play a part in some things based on where you are. But in most cases, the reason why your life has stopped is because you procrastinating. That's when I looked at my life years ago, and I said, man, all these areas, this area stopped, this area stopped. And, I had to look in the mirror and say, man, you the guy, you the one stopping that because you keep putting off doing things that you can do, that you should do. You're putting that stuff off, talking about I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it one day. I'll do it someday. Well, when I got good at saying I'm gonna do it one day and someday, my bank accounts got low. When I got good at doing stuff one day, saying I'm gonna do stuff one day and someday, my health got bad. When I started saying I'm gonna do something one day or someday, then my relationships got tore up. See, because everything I was doing, I was putting it off. I meant to call you, I meant to be there, but guess what? I put it off. I meant to pay them, but I put it off. I meant to walk around the block, take a vitamin, but I put off going to get the vitamin. Right? Those are the things that I was doing. And then my health started kind of suffering because of those simple things. The relationships started to suffer because of those simple things. My finances started to suffer because of those simple things. Career started suffering because of those simple things. So you have to realize that you can move your life anytime you want to. You can pick it up and put it down anytime you like. You have that much power and that much control over your life that you can pick your life up starting the day, or you can put your life down starting the day. And all you need to do is get good at procrastinating. You'll put your life down. You get bad at procrastinating. That means you got good at progressing. That means you didn't pick your life up and you're moving your life forward. So here's something for you, right? Because there's something when you get good at progressing in life, you're going to also get good at accomplishing in life. And if you're not accomplishing very much, that means you're procrastinating a whole lot. Procrastination is the thief. Somebody says the thief of time and all those things, and that could be said. Those are some good statements. In my world, procrastination is the thief of accomplishments. Now, when you think about somebody stealing something from you, normally you got to get it first, then they steal it, right? You get a car, then they stole the car, but you had to get the car first, right? Well, in this scenario with procrastination steals accomplishments before you get them because you put off doing the things you should do when you should do them. So a lot of us should have degrees. How come we don't have it? We put off going to school. A lot of us should be at the weight that we want to be. The reason why we're not, we put off exercise, right? A lot of us should have an investment account or save $5, whatever. And the reason why we don't, because we put it off and now we don't have the $5, right? So you have to get good at saying, listen, to yourself, right? You got to talk to yourself sometimes. Sometimes you got to tell yourself, hey, you need to start picking your life up and let's get this thing moving. So because I need to accomplish something. So when you see people that have a lot of accomplishments, what that proves is that they are good at progressing. And what it also proves is that they're very bad at procrastinating. Or for a time, they were very bad at procrastinating, right? Because every day you get up, you got this fight, right? Every day you get up, you got this battle with procrastination. Every hour through the day. I mean, it's people at work, right? You ever work at a job and there's people at work and all you need is one or two people procrastinating, right? They don't get the stuff to you before lunch. Then, you can throw off the whole thing, right? At the company, right? They don't do these two things. They're a manager and they procrastinate on getting this done. Then somebody pay may be messed up, right? Because people are procrastinating. So this thing is like a insidious disease, man. I mean, this thing is, it's contagious, man. It's a whole lot of people have it, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how we get anything done because we all procrastinate so much. I don't know how we get anything done anytime, right? Because so many of us procrastinate. We procrastinate in our companies. We procrastinate in our houses. We procrastinate in our organizations or neighborhoods and churches, all these different things. We do all this procrastinate. So this is why we have to look at accomplishments. So you have to focus on accomplishing something. Now sometimes we look at accomplishments only as I don't know, the car or the house or the degree or finally getting married or whatever, all those things, right? We might look at that as the only accomplishment. Those could be accomplishments. That's not what I'm saying. You have accomplishments that you can do in a day, in a week, in a month. You have a lot of things that you can accomplish. So let's look at the word accomplish because, I like to kind of take words apart and put them back together again, see what we can do with that. So there's a word, obviously the word accomplish, and it's broken up this way or derived this way. AC means two, but I want to spend time with the second part of the large part of the word, which is accomplish. And accomplish is the same word we get, that's a sister word, I should say, to the word called complete. Now, here's where we have a problem. See, when we're not good at completing things, that means that we don't accomplish very much. So let's take an example like football. I mean, you don't have to be no football fan, but I'm gonna kind of use this as an example. They got this guy called the quarterback, right? Throw a ball and it's not caught, they call that ball incomplete pass. Mean not complete. That's what it means, right? Well, see, when you do something in life and you don't do the things you're supposed to do and you put it off, you got a lot of not completes going on in your life. Now, here's the thing. Now, I never played in the NFL, none of that stuff, right? But if you got a quarterback that throw 20 passes and all of them are incomplete, it won't be long before he won't be in the game, right? Because he's not gaining any yards because he's not completing any passes. Okay, let's bring that to life. When you don't do the things you should do and you procrastinate and you got incompletes, that means that you never gain any ground. You never progress. Like going to college. You go to college, don't finish the class, they say it's incomplete. You got to take that class again, right? You got to take that next semester. So now you put yourself behind another 4 months, another 3 months, because it was an incomplete class, right? Well, when we don't do the things we're supposed to do in our relationships, right? The things we can do, right? We don't do those things. We put things off. Now we got an incomplete in our relationship. Now we got to go back to where we were. We haven't gained any yards in that relationship. We got an incomplete thing, something we should do in our finances. Hey, you need to get you some life insurance, or you need to get you some health insurance, or you need to get you whatever, right? Need to drink more water, right? And you don't do it, right? You don't gain any yards. So if you're not gaining, you're not winning. You're not improving. You're not getting better because you're not gaining and you haven't moved from where you are to 2 steps, 5 steps ahead. So here's how we stay in the same place for 20 years. We procrastinate for 20 years and we say, man, I can't seem to get up off the couch. The reason why you can't seem to get off the couch, the reason why it seems like your life haven't moved anywhere is because you haven't gained any yards because you haven't completed anything. And the reason why we don't complete anything because we procrastinate with things. So we have to get very, very good at progressing or doing things that we can do. Now, a lot of times we get overwhelmed. Now, this is one of the things that used to stop me, and I've learned how to deal with myself a little bit better over the years, right? This has been a 20-year experiment for me. It's probably longer than that. But I started learning how that when I get overwhelmed, it seems like I just shut down. If I got all this stuff to do and I don't put this stuff in any order, I do nothing, right? So I realized that I can't let myself get overwhelmed. So I started realizing I was one of these people. I want to pay it all off. I can't pay it all off by Friday, then I'm mad, right? Instead of just paying the payment that month, right? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just paying something on it, I'm going to pay it all off by Friday. Well, what happens is I do nothing. That means I don't gain any yards. That's an incomplete. I get further behind. Then I'm further behind. Next thing I know, a year, where I should have been, I'm not because I procrastinate. And this is what happens to many of us all the time. The reason why you're not moving in your finances is because you're procrastinating on doing the things that you can do today. What can you do? Can you save $5? Yeah, I can save $5. Then why don't you save $5? Because I want to save $5,000 a month. Okay, well, by the time that happens, you 50 years into this thing, right? Well, see, why don't you start where you are? And this is what happens because a lot of us don't want to start and do no small steps. You tell us to do a small step, we get all mad and all bent out of shape and everything. Why I got to do these small steps? You tell people how to do something. Hey, I tell somebody ask me, man, how you write a book? Man, I said, man, one word at a time. That's how I write it, right? It's man, no, that's too simple. Okay, one chapter at a time, whatever you want to say. But just do one at a time. Just write one sentence. Or just walk around the block one time. Just walk up and down the stairs once. And you say, well, that's not going to help me lose 25 pounds by Friday. You're probably right, it won't. But you got to get started. And see, the problem some of us have a problem with finishing, but a lot of us have a problem with starting. We don't start to do anything and try to build up on that. We don't start and try to save $5. And then next month, I'm going to try to save $5.50. Then the next month, I'm trying to save $5.85. We don't want to do that because all that stuff sounds so insignificant. Hey, this week, I'm not going to eat lunch today on Tuesday. But, I'm going to eat lunch all the other days because I'm trying to lose 20 pounds. Somebody said, man, that ain't nothing. You just missed one day. Well, that's where you had to start because you never miss lunch, right? You eat lunch all the time. You eat 2 lunches, matter of fact, right? So you trying to actually get into something and doing a little bit at a time. I know nobody's going to have a parade for you when they see you doing a little bit at a time. I'm the master of doing a lot. I do a little things often. Do this every day. Do this every day. Next, in a year, you done this. Save $25 a month. You do that every year. You say, man, I saved only $300. But last year, you saved nothing. Oh, that's true. I did. And the year before that, you saved nothing. Yeah, that's true. I did. And the year before that, you saved nothing. So $300 is a $300 improvement for you, right? That's a 300% improvement, right? Well, that's the same way it is with any area of your life, right? So you have to complete things. So I used this example once before that one time I was teaching a class years ago, and I used to always do this in seminars that I did or workshops. And I have people start, I tell them take out a sheet of paper and they're going to draw a circle about so big, right? And I said, when I say start, you start. When I say stop, you stop, right? Then we go to the next circle. So they start, and I say start, and they start drawing the circle. I stop. And I said start, I stop. So when we got done with this about 10 times, very few people had a circle, complete circle. But they had a bunch of half circles, 3/4 circles, a quarter circle, and everything. And I was explaining to them, that's how our life look. We start, stop. We don't complete too much of anything. So now we're looking at our life. It's kind of hard to look at your life and look at all these gaping holes, so to speak. Just start and stop and start. Nothing is complete, meaning that we don't have a lot of accomplishments. So since we don't have a lot of accomplishments because we're not completing things. So first thing you do before you get an accomplishment of a big accomplishment, you may think like getting the house. Maybe the accomplishment this month is, hey, I'm going to save 10% of that mortgage payment. What that mortgage payment would be, it'll be $1,000. This month after I pay everything, I'm going to save $100. Just 10% of what a mortgage payment would be this month. Maybe that's where you start. Because see, what you're doing is building confidence in yourself, right? Which is a whole nother topic. But that's why completing is so important, because it helps you accomplish something. So every time you accomplish something, look at it like this. You got this stadium. And every time you accomplish something, that's one of your fans that take a seat. So what ends up happening, we end up living 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and we may have 2 fans in the stands, right? And if you only have 2 fans in the stands, I don't care how good you're doing, you don't feel that excited, right? But if you have 50,000 fans in the stands or 20,000 fans or 5,000 cheering for you, because that's what an accomplishment is. Once you accomplishment, it never goes away. Once you get a degree, I don't care what happened to the school or what happened 25 years later, you still accomplished the degree. Once you got the job or once you did these different things that you want to do, nothing can take away from the accomplishment once you get the accomplishment. Once you complete it, it's complete. Now, there's another word that goes right along with complete. And that word is finish. And again, a lot of times we just don't finish. You have to give yourself not to just stop, but you have to say, I'm going to do this until I finish, because that's when it's going to be complete. That's when I have an accomplishment, and your accomplishments will always give you an applause. I tell people, one good thing about getting awards, if you ever got an award or something, crossing the street or whatever, right? And, you might want to stick it on the wall and everything. You might say, well, don't pay me bills, man. I got that award. Don't pay me anything. But what it is to remind you that you were good that one day, that 1 week, that 1 month, or whatever it is, right? It's an applause. The reason why we don't have a lot of applause in our life from what we've done, because we haven't accomplished a lot of things in our life. The fewer things you accomplish, the less applause you have in life. Because now you feel sad about your life. You're only 45 years old, but you feel like life is over. Oh my God, I haven't done nothing. Well, in truth, you probably haven't completed anything. But that just because you haven't completed anything over the last 5, 10, 20 years does not mean you can't complete things over the next 5, 10, 20 years. You can start today completing something, but now how do you do that? You have to start doing the things that you can do right now. It's within your reach to actually do something. You might need to wash the dishes, right? You might need to do your laundry, because we put off all type of things. One thing I started doing to help me to get better at conquering procrastination Because most of the things we put off doing are things that we do often, right? So I started timing myself when I did something to see how long it actually took me to do some stuff, right? And I found out, man, it only took me like 10 minutes to do that. But before I started timing myself, I was thinking about doing it for a whole hour, right? Man, I need to wash those dishes. Man, I need to wash those dishes. Man, I need to do my laundry. Man, I need to do that laundry. Man, I need to do that laundry. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Yeah, man, man, when I get in tomorrow, I'm gonna do that. Man, I'm gonna do that laundry. And I think about it for a whole half hour when it would only took me 5-7 minutes to put the stuff in the laundry, in the washing machine. But no, I got to think about it for an hour. See, this is the things that we do. And we do more time. We spend more time thinking about or talking about when we're going to do something than it will actually take us to actually do it. It don't, they say with exercising like the body, you only need to exercise about 20 or 30 minutes, they say, about 3 days a week. When you think of 30 minutes, that's only, and you said just say 3 days a week, that's only an hour and a half. There's 168 hours in a week. I can't find an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 168 hours. Even if I sleep like 8 hours a day and, and that's about 56 hours a week, I still got like about 112 hours and I can't find like an hour and a half to like walk up and down the stairs, half an hour, 3 times a week. And then when you start thinking of it that way, it's like, it almost sounds silly. Like, wow, I can find 30 minutes. My God, I can't find 30 minutes to do a little exercise, to run in place or something like that. Maybe I can run in place 15 minutes a day, every day. And then I done an hour and a half. But no, I got to think about it. Because, see, I got to lose weight and I got to go to the gym and I got to be at the gym powerlifting for like 4 hours. See, this is what we do. So we get overwhelmed, then we procrastinate. Now, the other person that procrastinated a lot is this Mr. or Mrs. Perfection. They can't move and nothing until everything is perfect. Everything got to be lined up perfect. There's a lot of people that wanted to get married, can't get married and all this stuff, but everything had to be perfect first, right? So guess what happened? It didn't happen for them, right? People should have got promoted, should have opened up a business, but they couldn't open up the business. Why? Because everything had to be perfect. They had to have exactly this amount of money in the bank. They had to have exactly this much money paid off. They had to have exactly this much everything. And so since everything wasn't perfect, they never moved. And this is where a lot of us are. We got to get everything in place first before we move and do anything. And what ends up happening, everything is never in place all at the same time. Sometimes you have to move so something else can get in place down the road. If you never do one step here, you'll never get something to move 5 steps ahead of you. But since you want all 25 steps lined up for you before you move, I want to open up this business. What type of business you want to open up? Hey, I want to open up a bakery. Okay, good. All right, so what you not a bake? Yeah, I'm not a bake. I bake cakes better than anybody. Okay, that's wonderful. You need to start. But first I got to get a conventional kitchen, see. I got to get a big old kitchen because I need like about 5 ovens. 5 ovens, yeah. Yeah, I got to get a bigger, and then it got to be on this side of town, right? So it won't take me that long to get to work because it got to be in a really, really good area, see. It got to be then the building had to be already fixed, all right? Everything got to be there, lock and key and everything. Then I got to have this much money to put down. Then I got to have this many, employees already. He said, wait a minute. Why don't you just start baking cakes out of your kitchen? No. Do you have any customers yet? No, I don't have any customers. Why do you need a big old 5 convention ovens and they got to be this and you got to have all these different things first? Can't you bake cakes in your kitchen right now? Yeah, I do. Can't you start there? No, I got to have everything perfect, man. And they never move. You come back 5 years later. Now you talk about how good they do, right? Man, I had some of this person's cake, the best cakes I ever had, man. I never had cake that good. You come back 5 years later, they still talking about when I get that conventional oven and that big old kitchen that I'm going to get, that big warehouse, then I'm going to move. Man, you said that 5 years ago. Then somebody said, oh, well, I knew him for 10 years. He said that 10 years ago. Because we always talking about what we're going to do. Got to have things perfectly aligned before we move and do anything. I always say, start right where you are and build from there. Start where you are. If you right now, you only have a small little kitchen, you in a little apartment, but you make the best cakes in the world, start right there making your cakes in your little old oven. You got to put it on 450 because it don't act right on 350 or whatever, right? You got to do whatever you got to do and make your cakes like you've been making them. If you say, hey, I want to start this clothing line, I want to sew clothes for people, but I need this big old warehouse. I need all this material. Hey, you got your little apartment? Yeah. You got your little house or got a little room in your house? Yeah, start right there. Make your little outfits in there. And as you get better, you'll get bigger and you'll move into something bigger. But you're not ready to move into anything bigger if you can't get good at starting right where you are. If you're procrastinating with the little things, trust me, you're going to procrastinate with bigger things. You're just going to do what you do, is it's going to be magnified even more so. People tell me all the time, man, I know people that have been writing. I've been writing books for about 20 years. Something like that. Close to 20, 19, something like that. It's been people that I know personally that told me they wanted to write books before I started writing books. And in 20 years, they still haven't done it. Now, does that mean that I'm better than them? No, not at all. What it means is that these people are really smart, but they're really good at procrastinating. They're really good at it because they've been putting it off. And 5 years later, when I see them 5 years later, hey, what's going on, man? You say they still haven't done it. Why? Because they put it off. They put off with what they could do. Can you write a sentence, man? Yeah, but I'm not that good with punctuation. I'm not that good with, sentence structure. Just write what you can write. You'll get better. Just do what you can where you are. Start so that you can finish. You can't finish until you start. But then you start so you can finish, so you can complete. The more completion. Now, I use the example of the quarterback that had 20 incomplete passes in a row. Now we got this other quarterback. He threw 20 complete passes in a row. He's going to stay in the game. They're going to say, man, this guy's on fire. This guy's moving the team down the field. They're probably scoring points because he keeps gaining yards because he keeps completing passes. Well, take this to our life. You're probably going to get some accomplishments if you keep doing the things you can do and complete what you can. 2 yards here, 3 yards there, 4 yards there, 5 yards there. Ooh, 12 yards there. Ooh, but we want to throw bombs all the time. We want to throw 80-yard passes on every play. We want to run 80 yards, and it just doesn't work that way in life. The purpose of moving your life is to make sure you move your life to a desired location on where you want to be. If you know how to do that and you get good at doing that, that means you have gotten good at doing what you can do. There's things you can do. Now, here's something for you. Because see, I'm telling you, man, I was so good at procrastinating. I told you, if you looked in the dictionary back in the day, you seen a picture of me crying. Because you're looking at procrastination, because that was me. I was procrastinating on everything. Did I say everything? Everything, every day. I'm just procrastinating, right? So I was good at it. So I know how, when I see people that's good at procrastinating, I go, oh, that's what they're good at it. I found out some people better than I am, but I found out that's what was holding me up is because I procrastinate. So what I'm end up doing, I should have did the laundry on this day, but because I didn't do the laundry on this day, it got in the way of me doing something tomorrow. Because tomorrow got all its unforeseen issues and everything that goes along with tomorrow. They already in tomorrow. Now what you do when you procrastinate today, you put the stuff that you should have done today in the way of tomorrow's stuff. And this is how we get further behind in life. Because all we end up doing is doing stuff that we should have did last month, doing stuff that we should have did last year, doing stuff that we should have did a decade ago, right? Because we're always behind. And then what ends up happening when you get so far behind, you say, forget it. Some of us use some different adjectives, right? But you say, forget it, right? Because the fact that you're so far behind, it's been 30 days, you haven't done it, forget it. So now you just put it behind, and now you get more frustrated with yourself because you procrastinated more. So you have to realize that you have to do activity. Activity is what you do to make accomplishments be something that you have. If you don't do activities, then you can't have accomplishments. Activity comes before accomplishments, but accomplishments can't happen without activity. You need to be active, or you need to do something. You need to do something, but you can't be doing a bunch of nothing thinking that you're going to have accomplishments. You need to do things that you can do that's related to the places or getting the things that you want to get. If you want to actually, save some money, then you might need to get a financial planner to help you save, show you how to save some money. You might need to go take a class on how to budget or something, right? You might need to do some things like that. If you want to lose weight, you might need to find somebody. You might need to read a book on how to lose weight. I don't know. You need to do something that you can do. You said, well, I don't have any money for the health club. They cost too much. And plus, the health club way, way, way over there. And plus, it'd be too many people in the health club. Buy you somebody's program. Get you an app. Do it at home in the living room. I don't want nobody looking at me when I go to the health club. Okay, do it in your house. Nobody will see you but you, right? But that's what you can do. Now, if you do this, that's activity. You got to do the jumping jack. You got to do the push-up. You got to do the sit-up. You got to save the $5. You got to make the calls in business. These are the things that you have to do if you want to get the accomplishment or complete some things in your life. If you don't get good at completing things in your life, that means that you got very good at procrastinating on doing activities you have in your life. And what ends up happening, unfortunately, is that we get very good at making excuses. Very good. You can't make excuses and progress at the same time. If you're good at making excuses, you're probably very bad at progressing. If you're good at progressing, that means you're probably very bad at excuses. You can't see, there's no such thing as excuses with progressing. If you want to progress in life, you need to stop making excuses. See, excuses is like trying to hide something in clear plastic. You say, I got it covered up. I got it covered. Man, I can see right through that. I can see what you hiding, right? And that's what an excuse is like. When people get good at procrastinating, right? We spend more time coming up with the excuse that we're going to use than taking the time to actually do the activity we need to do to get the thing that we want to accomplish. We had excuse for everything, right? Excuses for why anything is going on, right, in life. Hey, why did you do that? Well, you don't understand. See, the moon was out at night one time, right? And since the moon was out at night and it was shining, I couldn't do nothing at night, man. I just couldn't do that. Moon was shining. I couldn't do nothing. You think like, what does the moon have to do with you doing your laundry? What does the moon have to do with you saving $5? But it's a good excuse, and it sounds pretty good. And because so many of us are good at procrastinating, this is what happens. We think that excuse makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because when I go outside too, when the moon be shining, you know what? It be messing with me too, right? So now we got us a group of people saying you can't do nothing when the moon is out. And then when the moon is not being seen and the sun is out, say, hey, why you didn't do that? Man, the sun was out. It's sunny out and sun was out. And we got these people that's good at procrastinating. They said, yeah, when the sun's out, I can't do nothing to you. Right? Because we get very good at excuses. And you cannot progress and make excuses at the same time. Let me tell you this story, right? I remember I ran the marathon. This is funny. To me, it is. So I ran the marathon, and when I trained for it, the best I got at this time, I got up to like 16 miles at one time. So now I'm running this marathon, and I guess I got to about mile 17, 18, and I don't think I even knew my name at that time, right? So I'm like, man, this don't make no sense. Why am I out here? Right? Who convinced me to do this? This don't make no sense running 26 miles. So I started trying to come up with some excuses that I should really stop. So first I said, you know what it is? The reason why I'm having a hard time running this thing, I know what it is. I'm too short. If I had longer legs, I have bigger strides, and I probably would be further than I am today. All right. It seemed like everybody that was shorter than me ran by me. Like, whoa, what happened? Because I was saying I was too short, right? All these short people ran by me. Now I'm already a short guy, but these people are shorter than me, right? I said, I know what it is. See, if I was a little bit more leaner, right? If I was a leaner, I'm probably too big, too big for my legs or whatever, right? Any excuse would do when when you're looking for one. And then see, like, everybody that ran by me weighed like 250, 300 pounds. Like, whoa, wait, what's going on here? Right? Another excuse. See, because life is going to always throw something in front of you to let you know your excuse is an excuse. They're going to let you see somebody do exactly what you said you want to do and probably have less than what you have and bypass you to let you know that you got an excuse going on. Right? So as I'm running this, I'm steady running, and I said, you know what? I probably should have brought me some some new shoes, running shoes to run this thing. Cause see, the reason why my feet probably hurting and everything, cause I got these shoes on and they're a little bit older. I probably should just bought me some new ones instead of having these older shoes on, right? The shoes weren't old. I mean, maybe a year or whatever, right? But they weren't old. Man, it seemed like everybody ran by me had on shoes like Chuck Taylors and stuff. Running by me like, oh my God, those shoes older than me that guy got on, right? Because all these excuses I'm using and life is showing me you're using excuses. So, I'm going to use this last excuse because, okay, it must not be my shoes. I said, man, I'm a black guy, man, and black people don't run like this. We running no 26 miles. We don't do no stuff like this. That's what, other races do, right? Because I want to quit. See, I want to stop. It seemed like every black person that's in the city of Chicago at that time ran right by me. And I'm like, golly. That's when I realized no excuse will do, man. You got to finish. You got to complete it. You're out here doing it. Well, see, that's how it is in life. You said, well, you know what? The reason why I can't do this because I'm a single parent. And then life will show you this, you say, I got 2 kids. I'm a single mother with 3 kids and I can't do it. And then life will show you this single mother with 7 kids and did twice as much as you. Like, oh, man, that's kind of messed up. Man, the reason why I can't do it, you don't understand. You don't understand. Because I'm like the oldest child. And then somebody show you that, I'm the oldest child. I got like three siblings I had to take care of. Then somebody show up and say, man, I'm the oldest child of 10. And I had to take care of all my brothers and sisters. Like, oh, okay. So whatever excuse you have, life is going to show you that you are using an excuse. And that's to alert you that you should be progressing. You should be saving money. Yeah, you should have got a degree. Yeah, you should have got a certificate. Yeah, you should have opened up a business. Because you saying, well, I need to get all this stuff perfect. And then you read some story or see some story on the internet and how somebody started cooking, out of they didn't even have a place. They had to go, they lived in a rooming house. They had to go to their mama house or their cousin's house to bake the cakes that they wanted to sell. And you got a nice kitchen. You got a nice island in the middle, all that stuff. And you said the reason why you can't start your cupcake business because you need a big old conventional kitchen. You can't use your kitchen because it ain't big enough. But then somebody else show your kitchen so big, if they had 2 people in there, they'd probably be fighting because there's not enough room. But they end up baking cakes and earning much more money than you, started their business because this is what life does. If you're going to use an excuse is a partner with procrastination. Procrastination and excuses, they go together like a hand in a glove. You procrastinate a lot, you make a lot of excuses. You make a lot of excuses, you procrastinate a lot. So that means you got to get very good or very bad, I should say, at making excuses. Why? Because that means you're going to get very good. If you don't get very bad at it, you're going to get very good at procrastinating. And we can't keep putting things off to tomorrow. Like I used in session 1, since the word procrastinate means tomorrow, then all you're doing is tomorrowing. Now, I know tomorrowing is not a word. I know that. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Doesn't make sense. Why would I use a word that doesn't make sense? Why would I use a word that's not even a word? See, and that's what procrastination have us looking like when we say, oh, yeah, I want to do this in life. I want to do that in life. I want to get this. I want to accomplish this. And then we doing all this tomorrowing and just tomorrowing over here, tomorrowing with our finances, tomorrowing with our jobs or careers or businesses, tomorrowing with our health, tomorrowing our relationships, tomorrowing with our spiritual life. We tomorrowing with taking vacations. We tomorrowing with everything. We just procrastinating with everything. When last time you take a vacation, man? Well, I've been busy. I can't take no vacation because, there's no plane to leave my state. There's no way I want to go. I mean, the company need me. It can't live without me, right? Because you don't want to take a 2-day vacation or a 6-hour vacation. No, you don't understand because, and that's what we do. We'll put it off. And then when we finally take somewhere and go somewhere, we say, man, it's pretty nice. So now you miss 20 years of vacations, right? You miss 20 years. We even procrastinate on telling people that we love them. We won't tell our husband, wives, mamas, daddies, sons, daughters, best friends, cousins. We procrastinate on that. I'm going to tell them, you know what? I'm going to tell them I love them. When you want to tell them? On their birthday. Yeah. Then they leave you before their birthday. But I was going to tell them on their birthday I love them. Well, at that time, it's too late, right? Too late to do that because of the fact that you procrastinated. So you got to get good at doing what you can now. And it may be so simple as telling somebody you love them.
You might need to tell a spouse. You might need to tell a parent. You might need to tell a child. You might need to tell a friend, right? Hey, that you love. You might need to do some stuff like that, right? You might need to write the paper. You might need to send the payment off. You might need to pay the thing tonight. I don't know what it is, but you might need to do it, right? So, because you have to start feeling accomplished. So, this is something that I had to do for myself and still use it today. I have to make me a to-do list every day. And because I like crossing stuff off, yeah, I get a kick out of that, right? So I had to line stuff off. Oh, did that, did that, did that, did that. Now I try not to have more than 10 things max that I'm gonna do in a day. Now some people they may have 25 things. I try to have about 10 things. In a week, that's 70 things. I don't always get all 70 of those things done, right? Sometimes I do 60 of the things, sometimes 50, right? But once I start doing good at having these lists of trying to get things done for the day, I did this done today, this done today, this done today. And I try to work off that list of the things I have to do today, right? Now, I also try to make sure this thing is not just predominantly things that I have to do in one area, right? Like everything has to do with health or something. Like, okay, I got to run around the block. I got to do these push-ups. Then I got to do this. I got to drink 25 glasses of water. You know, I try to make sure all of these things are in one area of my life. Because my life is big just like your life is big. And I got different areas in my life just like you have different areas in your life. So these are things that we have to, that I had to do, right? That I know there's so much time with my children. I got to make sure we talk so often throughout the week, right? Because we don't live together, right? Because they big kids now, right? So we don't live together. They got their own lives. So we have to make sure that we kind of talk. So this, I kind of make this on their list. Certain days they got to contact me, and certain days they got to see me, and I got to do the same. That's part of my relationship things, right? Those are some of the things that's on my list, right? However, there's some other things on my list, like, okay, I got to make sure this is paid on this time and this is paid on this time. I got to make sure I do this in my business. I got to make sure I contact these people for this and this business. I got to make sure I do all these things, but I have to work off lists to help me and prevent me from procrastinating on things. You may need to do the same thing. May need to get you a notebook and just write your list and just put the date, Monday to whatever day, right? And just go with that, right? And you may not have 10, right? You may have 5. You may have 3. It might just be 1 starting off, right? Just try to make sure you do that one thing today, right? And then tomorrow you may say, well, I only have one thing to do tomorrow. Okay, well, just do what you can tomorrow. Now, you'll find out that you have more than one thing. You'll find out there's a lot of things in your life that you can do and that you should do. And when you find that out, then you'll start doing them more often. So we said a whole lot of things. Let me go ahead, before I close out, let me promote this young lady that I want to promote. And if you want to get promoted on any of the shows I do here at IntellectualRadio.com, you can definitely get in touch with me at fullerpurposemedia@gmail.com. And then we can definitely talk about the opportunity or the possibility, see if my show fit what you do and, or what you have, and if what you have fit what my show does. So tonight in this show, we're going to promote Miss Pamela Denise. Excuse me. Whether you are a first-time home buyer, an investor looking to build your portfolio, or you're purchasing your dream home, Pamela Denise at Exception Realty is who you need to call. She has 24 years of experience and a team that is ready, willing, and very capable to assist in all of your real estate needs. You will also get a free consultation by mentioning you heard about Pamela Denise on a Greater You show here on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart Station with the host, Dr. Anthony L. Gantt. For more information, again, you can contact Ms. Pamela Denise at 773-447-8546. That's 773-447-8546, or info@keepitmoving.us. That's info, info, at KEEP as in Paul, IT as in Tom, MOV as in Victor, ING as in great, .us. info@keepitmoving.us. So give her a call. Don't procrastinate, right? Be diligent on it. So call up and say, hey, I need to buy me a house. I need to buy me a condominium, sell me a house. I need to see if I qualify for a house. I need to sell my condo. I need to buy me an investment property. I need to know how to do that first, right? So call, right? Put that on your list. So give a call, right? So anybody I promote on the show, you do that. Don't hesitate. When you hear it, call them. Because anybody I promote on the show, we have this agreement that they have to do a free consultation. That's why if you hear me promote a lot of people, that I always say you get a free consultation by mentioning that you heard it from the show. So you don't have to worry about somebody trying to sell you
something, if you call them, oh man, they're gonna try to sell me insurance. They're gonna try to sell me a house right on the phone. They're gonna give you a free consultation because you heard it from the show. So anytime, even if it's 6 months later, a year later, they're gonna do this because this is the agreement that I have with the people that I promote, that they must give a free consultation to some degree. Now it could be 5 minutes with one, 15 minutes with another, but they're gonna consult with you for free about what they do and what their business is. So don't be afraid to contact them. Don't put it off too long. Even if you contact now, see with emails, you can send emails anytime at night, right? And the people can get back with you. You don't have to worry about calling and disturbing anybody. Just send an email and they get back with you. So let's go do a recap of today's show. So we talked about how you have to move your life, and life gives you permission to move your life by doing the things you can do and doing the things that you should do right now. Whatever those things are, there's always something that you can do and that you don't need to put it off. And if you put it off, you're putting yourself further behind. The more, it's all about completing, right? Accomplishment. You want to complete something. And anytime you start doing the things you can do, you are moving your life, or you're gaining yards. You're making progress, right? So if you're making progress, that's a good thing, right? So you're going to accomplish things. We don't want a bunch of half circles in our life. We want complete circles in our life, meaning that we have finished what we started. So wherever we are, we can start where we are. Make you a list, right? Get your sheet of paper, get your notebook, and start making a list. Put today's date. Don't have to be organized in any special way. Just write what you need to do. If it's 2 things, 5 things, 20 things, just put it down. As you get things done, cross it off the list. You don't have to put it on social media. Look, I did 3 things today. You know you did 3 things, right? Just get it done, because you know that you're moving your life. And the more you move your life, the more you're going to put yourself in position to accomplish many things. We also said that you need to stop making excuses, right? We can't keep making excuses, because you can't make excuses and progress at the same time. If you're going to make a bunch of excuses, you're not going to progress at all. If you're going to progress, you're not going to make excuses at all. So that means that you have to get good at progressing so you can get bad at making excuses. So because if you don't get bad at making excuses going to do a whole lot of bad things to your life. So you want to stop making excuses. So we want to move our life by doing the activity. We got to do the activity in order to get the accomplishments, because our accomplishments are what gives us the applause that we need and that we have in life. So to close it out, like I always do, well, before I say that, if you haven't gone to IntellectualRadio.com on YouTube, go there first and click on the subscribe button, and also hit the bell so you can be notified of all the shows we have going on here Sunday through Saturday. And as I said at the end of every show, great people like you have been born great. However, you must keep working on yourself to become a greater you. And I'll see you next time.